Look at the girl.
Maybe you should just leave it out for her.
Maybe.
Let's get started with a dynamic warm-up. We're gonna go through 5 exercises. We'll demonstrate those for you, and then you can work sounds, 5 exercises. Let's get that body primed for the work that you're about to do.
Oh, that's it. That was a good one. So, whew. Orange Theory does these daily workouts now because all the studios are closed, or at least, yeah, I think all the studios are closed, and that's where we usually go. They've been doing these daily workouts, posting them on YouTube. And so Andrea did one yesterday. We're going to try to do this at least a few times a week just to stay in some shape. And that shape is not round. No round shape. Because while that's technically a shape, it's a shape that's way too easy to get into in these situations. So, yeah, we're just going to keep doing this. Still have to get back to work. See you in a little bit. So, Andrea's doing a Zoom happy hour right now. So this right here, this glorious little thing here, is where we store all of our footage. It's a NAS, so this is connected to the network, which goes around to the computer over there where I edit. One of the drives in here was throwing errors, and so it was causing some issues of randomly crashing, that kind of thing. So I finally got around to upgrading or getting a couple replacement drives. So I've had these drives for about 4 years now. They've pretty much reached the end of their life. Regardless, when I built this, 3 terabyte was the best price to size value. So if you're not familiar, I have 8 drives in here, but 2 of the drives are considered parity drives, and they're used for redundancy basically. So I can lose up to 2 drives in here and I won't lose any data. What that means is then those drives are essentially lost. So you don't get that capacity for actual storage. It's just for parity. And what happened is over time, since we've started this channel, I've amassed a lot more data than I ever thought I would. So what is that? So 6 times 3, so that's 18 minus about 20%, 20 to 30%. So effectively, I think I had 12 terabytes total in here of actual storage. But I'm down to about 2 terabytes free, and that kind of worries me because we're creating a lot of content now, especially with the daily vlog. And so I needed to fix that. And unfortunately, I went with 8 drives, which means to upgrade the size of the array here, I need to get 8 more drives, and that means that's expensive, to say the least. I was gonna go for the largest drives that I could get. That would have been 16 terabytes, which is massive, but I didn't have enough money to buy 8 16 terabyte drives. So I was gonna downsize to 4. That kind of posed its own problems as far as if I wanted to keep the same redundancy, I would have had to sacrifice basically half the size of the array, which is not something that I'm willing to do. Basically, I'm paying for nothing at that point. What I mean by saying that I'd lose the drives is because they're meant for redundancy, then you can't actually use the storage on them effectively. It's just used to make sure that if drives die, that you have backups, or you can swap out drives in case. Which would mean that my 64 terabyte array would turn into a 32 terabyte array, which is not ideal. So what I decided to do is actually get twice the number of drives at half the capacity. So I keep my 2 drive redundancy, but I still have 48 terabytes of raw storage. Probably that'll equate to maybe 40 of actual storage. It's about the same price, so that's actually nice. So I just put the first one in to replace the bad drive, and it's resilvering right now. It's going to take a while, probably going to take like a day or so. But then I'll be back to normal. Hopefully the NAS won't crash as much as or at all. And then I will be incrementally adding more of these drives as time goes on to increase the storage. It's going to be a slow process. Probably going to be going through this over the next couple months. The other thing about these drives specifically, these are so-called enterprise drives. They're meant for data centers. You can run them for longer with more intensive applications without a failure, or that's the hope. Yeah, so I'm upgrading that as well, so it's less likely that the drives will fail prematurely. Little projects that I've been putting off. Things to do. It's March 20th. It's gone beyond shelter in place. It's now like only emergency business outside, or like taking your dog out to walk. It's gotten a lot more strict with what you're allowed to do outside, and one of my coworkers actually mentioned that her friend got a fine in San Francisco for going running with another person. So they're enforcing the 6-foot rule pretty strictly, which is good. It's good. The U.S. has now surpassed Italy for the first time in number of new cases, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. That's partly there are a lot of factors for that. I'm not gonna get into it because it's really depressing that all the factors that have gone into it. But so that's going. Nubwag. Look at that nubwag. Look up. Today we tell you the story of how we got Erin. You want that smell on you?
Girly girl.
Yeah, I think you need to tell this story.
So Derek and I had already told ourselves that we would get a dog. We'd agreed on getting a dog a year after we were dating. Was it a year?
It's like, it was a year.
A year after we moved in.
Yeah. And then after like 6 months, we're like, oh wait, no, we should probably wait 2 years because we wanted to travel and we wanted to do other things.
Yeah, so we agreed because we wanted to travel. And then we got engaged. And then the wedding happened. I don't know how it happened, but we're like, okay, we're married now. I had been searching online for dog. Oh, I know what happened. We went camping
Oh, right.
with our friends, and our friend has a healer of some
Blue
sort.
healer. Yeah, mix.
His name is Milo, and he's the most amazing dog. He loves to play fetch with sticks. He loves to swim. He's a good off-leash dog. He's just the best companion. And after that trip, we're like, we need to get ourselves a Milo. So I was looking for dogs online and dogs on all the rescues because that one over there wouldn't let me buy a Frenchie. We had to rescue a dog first. So, searching for dogs online occurs. It was June or July.
June, yeah.
It was June 21st or something like that.
Hi, friend.
Let's see to throw it.
So it was June 21st or 20th or something like that. It was National Bring Your Dog to Work Day. And I had a coworker who had a Frenchie, and she had brought the Frenchie in. Backstory is Frenchie is one of my favorite dogs, and I shared a Frenchie with an ex-boyfriend. And when that ended, it was very volatile. When that ended, I had to give up that Frenchie. So I had to give up the dog as well as the relationship in order to just leave. So I have an affinity for, I like Frenchies. So I had gone into the office, saw my coworker's Frenchie. Another coworker of mine was like, oh, there's another Frenchie over there. I was like, what? And I went to go look over, and I looked at the Frenchie, and it was the Frenchie that I had shared with my ex-boyfriend. He was in the office, and I had mourned the loss of that Frenchie for about 3 years already, and I started bawling.
A helpful detail here is the ex-boyfriend was not there. Just the dog, just the Frenchie.
And so I asked how my coworker had my dog. He was friends with the owner, and the owner was friends with my ex-boyfriend. And my ex-boyfriend was very petty about it. He's like, if you take that dog, I'll sue you. That's my dog, da 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 da. And turns out he was just doing that to be petty, because he ended up giving the dog away anyway. So
this is the same ex-boyfriend who threatened to shoot me with a shotgun if I came to help her move out.
yes, so it was a very, 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 very bad relationship. Anyway, so I was very sad, and I told Derek that I would be sad for a while. And because the dog search had been going on for a really long time, I found Erin's profile at the Humane Society of Silicon Valley 3 days prior. And I thought we had found her dog. And so that was Friday. I had seen my dog in the office. Saturday, I had signed up for an all-day sewing workshop in San Francisco. So I went there. And I was like, oh, this is a nice thing to get my mind off of things. And while I was at the workshop, I had called Derek. It's like, hey, just checking in. What are you doing? He's like, I'm running an errand. It's like, okay.
So when she calls me, I'm pulling up into the parking lot of the Humane Society in Silicon Valley, which is in Milpitas, which is about a 40 to 45 minute drive from here, from where we are right now. And so I knew that she was in the state that she was in. I knew she was going to be gone most of the day because of this class. And so I made a
executive decision.
Yeah, an impulsive decision to go down to the Humane Society, and I was about 90% sure I was going to pick up the dog, but there was still that, like, maybe this dog is not a good dog. Like, maybe this dog has behavioral issues or something that we can't really address. She was a little timid. She definitely had some bad circumstances that landed her in the shelter.
Which of which we don't know. Like, we don't know what happened to her.
What we do know, based on the records that they have from the shelter, is that she came into the shelter with puppies, like her puppies, and they were a month or two old when she came into the shelter. She also had a bunch of other issues that they had to deal with. Nothing too bad, just kind of typical issues that happen with dogs that are not cared for correctly. And so, yeah, so I picked her up. And
by the time I got home
yeah,
from my sewing class, a dog ran up to me on our deck.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this? And I was like, that's our dog. And I started crying again because there was a dog in our house.
Yeah.
At the time, it was too much. It was a lot. Because I was in grief mode all over again because I had to mourn, like, the loss of my Frenchie. And then I was like, then we had to bring a dog into our house. So I, like, kicked into mommy mode, took her to go get a bath, got her food, got her toys. And she was fairly timid the night we got her.
Yeah.
And her name is Erin because, so her name was Bryn, B-R-I-N, from the shelter. And we wanted to change her name to make her ours. So we named her Erin because when I called Derek to go, and while he was driving to go get her, he said he was running an errand. Short story long, that's how we got our dog. She's definitely blossomed into her personality in the last few months that we've gotten her. She definitely acts like a teenager. She's ours.
She's ours. She is now part of the family.
Yeah. We had our friend actually take care of her the first weekend that we were gone because we had agreed to go to Tahoe. So they were like, because Erin is such an even sounding name, they had suggested to change it to have a hard consonant so she knows the sound. So we added girl because my nickname has girl in it growing up. So her nickname is Erin Girl.
Erin Girl.
Or Girly Girl.
Yeah.
Girly.
She has a lot of nicknames.
She has a lot of nicknames. Nubwag.
Lem Machine.
Lem Machine.
Squirmy Worm.
Mm-hmm. Poop Face.
Yeah,
she rubs her face in poop.
It
was one incident, but still.
Yeah, no, there was one time that her face just smelled like poop.
Yep, we have one dog for now. I still want my Frenchie, but she's great for now. She sheds more than I do.
That's not a lie.
And it's not a lie. A lot of hair, a lot of dog hair, a lot of my hair. So You saw that with the sweeping. 1 year in June.
Yeah.
We'll get her a doggy cake to celebrate because
Sure.
we don't know when her birthday is. Approximately 3.
Officially, her
4.
birthday is the date that
We got her.
that she came into the shelter. Officially, that's what her birthday is, because they don't know what it was, and they estimated her to be about 3. So the day that she got into the shelter, that was her 3rd birthday.
Sure, but we celebrate her gotcha day.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
day that we got her.
Yeah.
That's our girl.
That's our girl.
And
You'll
now-
be seeing a lot of her.
Now we gotta go meet up with our friends virtually.
Yep. Watching the first episode of Westworld virtually with our friends.
With our friends, we've already seen it. Don't tell them that, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I still want to rewatch it because it's there's a lot of little things that I missed. Are you hungry, girly?
Yep. She needs more food.
Are you a hungry girl?
Look at those ears.
Okay.
All right. Till tomorrow.
It's us against the world.
Vlogging edition.